We also even see it in the logo. Like the logo itself, I told you already, was that like snake eating its own tail, and that one was already green with like Zonai kind of like design. So there's no way this isn't part of it. Like it has to be Ganondorf like revived them or using their tech, like, which is kind of funny because like that means the first game Ganondorf was like, I can use Sheikah technology to kill all of Hyrule, and then that didn't work. So he's like, wait, I can use Zonai technology to kill all of Hyrule. every new game he's like, wait, I
can use Link's tunic to take him down.
How come I've never... That'd be kind of crazy concept if Ganondorf was like, how come I never try to find these items before he finds them? And Ganondorf just has all of Link's items and fights him with them. That'd be funny as hell.
Why can't we just get a game where you think you're playing as Link until you eventually find out, no, he's actually Ganondorf?
Dude, I think people would actually cry. I think, like, actual, like, fans would be like, no, I don't want to be gay. I don't want to be gay.
I would be like...
Oh, no, I'll be thinking it's sick. But, you know, there's people who, like, are diehard, like, Link. Not even, like, Zelda fans. Like, just, like, I love Link. Like, I dream about fucking him. Like, and then he transforms and you're like, no, I don't want to support Ganondorf.
That just means that you're playing as a dark-skinned god. Are you kidding me? Like, bro, what? A good-looking Ganondorf would go crazy.
Who gets what he wants.
Yeah, and it gets everything he wants, dude. Damn, I was gonna go off of something regarding Ganondorf. Do you feel like it's gonna be like as soon as you start the game, it'll be Ganondorf? Like as soon as you start the game, it's just like that cutscene from the trailer or something. Or from the
I've always subscribed to the idea that the game will start with Link and Zelda like browsing
that first
through
reveal trailer,
through the mines. Like, yeah, like they're like walking through the mines. I've always thought like that would be probably the best place to start it off. Like why would that be the middle of the game? You know?
Yeah, that's true. And then from there we just
get into the action.
I just still feel like there's not enough that they gave us for me to be like I'm still excited for the game overall because it's still the new Zelda game.
Yeah.
But I'm still just here like, wow, I wonder what's gonna happen after the first 5 minutes.
What if they? It'd be funny if they finished development, but in terms of like when they meant development, they meant like mechanisms and fighting. They didn't mean like story or plot. So like as soon as they finished the 10-minute video, they were like, all right, guys, we have a month to figure out what is the story. I still have no idea what the fuck's happening in this game.
Dude.
I'm just happy that we got the Sky Islands. We got that new hand tool. I think that shit's fucking hard. Especially the amiibo. The amiibo of him doing this is so tough. No, it's not in that video. It was in the trailer before.
I don't remember. You
remember? That amiibo, look it up. That amiibo
yep.
dummy.
Now I know.
God. I'm glad we have. What?
Where's the Sora Smash Brothers amiibo at, bro? Still waiting on that.
It still hasn't come out?
No. Can you believe that?
You think they forgot?
If they forgot, I will literally murder somebody.
Sakurai's on an island right now sipping a pina colada. And they come up to him and like, Sakurai, wait, hold on. I don't think we ever made a Sora amiibo. And he's like, I've done so much. I've done so, I don't think anyone's going to notice, okay? I've done so much.
The entire Kingdom Hearts community waiting for that to go on Amazon to click that purchase button. We're waiting, bro.
There's a dude who still hasn't showered or changed since the reveal waiting.
Done. No, but yeah, that amiibo goes hard.
Yeah, I'm just glad we got the Sky Islands. I'm glad we got that hand feature thing. And I'm just glad we got the Zonai kind of technology involved with it.
Whoa, isn't there a chance that Hyrule Castle or Hyrule Town will just be a regular town in this game?
Maybe because there was a moment of peace about Ganon, so it would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be back to normal, right?
Unless Ganon takes over Hyrule Castle again.
I would beat him up, bro. I mean, that's the point, but I would beat him up. Dude, I really want an explorable without any, like, enemies. Like, I'm talking about, like, an actual, just, you're able to explore at your own leisure.
Yeah.
Hyrule Castle and Hyrule
Town. Like the Twilight Princess Plaza or, like, the one in Ocarina of Time, yeah.
Dude, I always think of Hyrule Town, like, from Twilight Princess as, like, one of the most definitive ways to explore, like, a town.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
even
nice.
when
It had a bunch of corridors, nice little shops, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, even when and this is so off topic but still relevant. Even when I remember the feeling that I played when I first got to Kingdom Hearts 3, and there was the Kingdom of Corona. You were able to explore like the actual Kingdom area.
Yeah.
All I remember thinking was, dude, I don't know why I'm getting Hyrule Castle vibes from this.
Hyrule Castle with that open worldness would be great because we still haven't had that.
That's exactly.
Still haven't had any of that.
And Twilight Princess, there was like still segmented off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Wind Waker was nothing. Ocarina of Time was extremely small. Twilight Princess was a bunch of hallways. Majora's Mask wasn't Hyrule. It was Termina. Like, we haven't really got a proper one ever. The only ones we have were 2D.
With like Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the same thing. Not
also, slightly off topic, it just hit me. Why were people in the Hyrule town in Twilight Princess just chilling there? Like, there was clearly something happening. Like, I know they can't see Twilight, but I know they could see the giant 4-wall prism around the castle. How did none of them see that and think, I should probably leave town? They never did. The whole time they were like, Zelda's on her shit again.
If you were hanging out in the West Village, and from West Village you saw like a giant pyramid just come over Times Square, would you? I can imagine, maybe not you, but I can imagine a lot of people going, "Yo, pour me another one."
Yo, the Knicks won. That's crazy. Pour me another one.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to say that like sensible people would, but I can imagine a world where people are just like, I wonder what's happening over in Hyrule Castle.
Not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. Pour me some more milk. Like, like...
They definitely drink in Zelda, bro.
Yeah, but Nintendo won't tell you that.
No.
One of the top 10 secrets of Nintendo.
The top 10. They have a list. Number 10, we can never promote alcohol in Zelda. We can never. Understand?
Even though it makes complete sense. And obviously, I'm assuming that the game is going to end probably with, if that theory is correct, the one that you told me where it's going to be Breath of the Wild at the end of the timeline, Skyward Sword at the beginning, and then Tears of the Kingdom as the bridge. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously that means that Ganondorf is going to turn into...
Demise.
Yeah.
It has to be that, and there has to be some hint that all humans move to the Sky Islands. Like, it has to... 3 things have to happen. Obviously, like you said, Ganondorf has to become Demise. What?
What if there's a Sky Island that has the exact same
Skyward
layout
Sword
as Skyloft? Like, the exact same layout, but the game doesn't tell you that. It's just sort of like...
You just notice it like, this is going to be Skyloft. Like, this is definitely going to be Skyloft.
Yeah.
That'd be... I was wondering why your face went like that. That makes so much sense now.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense, but continue.
The 3 things that have to happen is Ganondorf has to become Demise, like you said. Zelda has to essentially die and become Hylia. She has to become the god herself. Which I can easily. That, in my opinion, is like the highest likelihood of happening out of the 3 I'm about to mention. Yeah. And the last one is that, like I said, the Hylia has to, because Demise is so prevalent and strong on the ground, she has to grab all the people in Hyrule and bring them up to the Sky Islands. Which means, technically, Link would have to fail.
Which I can see.
If this is the first game...
Continue.
This is the first game where Link beats Ganondorf, but they still don't win at the end, I'm going to nut. That would be the dopest ending. Because every Zelda game, let's be honest, it ends the same way. You beat Ganondorf and that's it. Or you beat the big bad person, that's it. If it's the first one where you beat Ganondorf, but he transforms to Demise, and it's too much for them to handle, so they all have to abort to the Sky Islands, I might just boot up Skyward Sword immediately right after.
Yeah, but there has to be... Like... How do people forget the legends, then?
What do you mean?
There doesn't have to be some sort of 4th element there, too, where people forget. Where people don't...
Between Tears of the Kingdom and Skyward Sword?
Like in Skyward Sword, and obviously I didn't beat it. I just could not get behind the gameplay of it. Mm-hmm. But like, didn't it? There's no mention of any heroes beforehand, right? Right, because it's gonna be the first one.
I don't think so.
So like,
No, they just mentioned Demise and the god Hylia, and that's it, I think.
Right. So unless it takes place so far ahead that people forgot about any sort of legends, it's just sort of,
which is definitely feasible in my opinion. Or if Link fails, there was no hero. Like if
that doesn't take away from all the heroes before that.
Oh, but come on. At the same time, I feel like we're talking about eras at that point. Like if we're talking about the heroes from before that, that's like the Zelda timeline is supposed to transcend over, like, talking millennia, bro, like years. So I feel like if Link fails in Tears of the Kingdom, and it's been years since that in Skyward Sword, I feel like it's natural to be like, there's no mention of heroes. Like, we live peacefully now in the Sky Islands. Like, we don't talk about anything that happened on the land.
The amount of, like, anxiety it gives me just thinking that, like in this timeline, because that just seems like it's a linear timeline now.
But, yeah, I mean, essentially it is, because, like, it's
not
so
even a loop.
long.
It doesn't feel like a loop. It just feels like a linear timeline where it just keeps happening over and over again.
Well, that's a loop. It's literally what a loop is.
I guess that too, but it doesn't take away. Oh my god! Hold on, I'm thinking way too deep right now. I'm way too like.
We're talking like the timeline of Zelda. If this theory happens, this is all contingent on the theory happening. The Zelda timeline is extremely long, and it's so long that eventually loops. Like, as in, if you would look at a moment in the Zelda timeline, it looks flat, but if you keep zooming out, eventually you see the giant circle, right? So the theory is, if this happens and it's a giant loop, you can sprinkle Zelda game technically anywhere in the loop, because it's a gigantic timeline of just multiple times where the hero fought the villain with the help of the princess. I mean, it makes sense if the timeline's that fucking long, you can really do anything with it. Like, at that point, the excuse is like, where was it in the timeline? I don't know. It was somewhere in there. It's a long timeline at this point. Put it anywhere you want.
It makes sense. That just gives me some
anxiety.
Yeah. You ever watch, like, White Christmas from Black Mirror? Just,
yeah,
like,
why?
How just time just freaks me out.
Is the concept of time giving you the fucking heebie-jeebies right now, bro?
Yeah, it really is. Because I could easily see that happening in the real world, too. Like, in the real world, where just it all starts again.
Yeah, I mean, there is this podcast is taking a turn, but there are theories out there that, what we're doing right now has already happened, and it ended at one point, and then it restarted again with the Big Bang. Like, we're not the first iteration, and we never will be the first or the last. Like, everything ends, and everything begins, and it's non-stop cycling. And we just don't have enough scientific knowledge to know how it ended and how it really began.
I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, it's life.
Bro, when I was religious growing up, like, I used to think always, like, yo, what if we were like God's second, like, God's plan B? Like, what if plan A happened?
Oh, like, yeah, and we're, like, supposed to be, like, the ones to, like, figure it out now?
Yeah, and like, and I'm still going through, like, I guess, the mythology of Islam in a way. And I think that's sort of a thing already in Islam, because there's, like, people called, like, there's, like, another group of species in Islam called jinns.
I'm sorry, I had sneaking Zonai in there.
You're an idiot.
Go ahead.
And jinns aren't necessarily evil, but they were like another species created by God that are highly sentient.
And, like, we don't know what happened to them?
No, they're still around. They're kind of like just spirits now, but they are like created by God as well, and they are people.
And we're supposed to be the second iteration of the creation.
I don't know. It freaks me out, bro. All of this freaks me out.
You think Aonuma was just walking around the streets of Tokyo one day, just smoking a blunt, and he got so high, he was like, what is time? And then he just looked at the Charlie meme. He was roaring out. I was like, I got the idea for Tears of the Kingdom. it's all just looping. None of this is real. None of this is fucking like. None of this is fucking matters, bro. They just loops in one giant circle. Fuck it, publish it.
That's definitely what happened at some point in the development cycle for this game. That's why it took 6 years.
That'd be funny if like the first 3 years they were like making like another Zelda game, like just a regular Zelda game, and then someone's like, "No, I'm tired of this. We need to address the concept of time. We gotta make it connect all of it right back."
I will say that I still have yet to see anything in this game that tells me that it took 6 years to make. Like nothing is screaming to me that it's taking 6 years.
The crafting thing, in my opinion, that's not easy to code. That's really not easy to code. Like grabbing anything in your surrounding and fusing their physics, their models, and making them work like in a real world setting too. Like
the really only hard. Reason why I feel like I want to disagree with you is just because there's like we said earlier, that felt like it was supposed to be DLC for Breath of the Wild 1. And so, like, if that was something that they were probably cooking up in the works for BOTW 1, why am I calling it that? For Breath of the Wild
1.
Then it feels like...
One could argue they were just in the design stage, though. They didn't actually start implementing it.
Perhaps.
Because implementing it is
still
tough.
Definitely. But to me, it just feels more like what took 6 years was the actual planning of the game and everything else.
Maybe
that's what it feels like. That's what it personally feels like to me. That's all it is personally.
Maybe, but I still think development. It has to be development because making a sandbox game is fucking hard, especially when it's like anything you see, you can pick up and you can fuse it with something and make something out of it. That's just not fucking easy, dude. I really think that's a huge part of the 6 years. But there's definitely an argument to be made that they maybe couldn't.
Like,
what?
Ganondorf's like balls and like mix it up with your shield, dude. That's insane.
You know for a fact someone is going to fucking try to beat Ganondorf with only mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
The mushroom only run.
Definitely.
What's my time?
Definitely. I'm also so curious to see what the outfits are going to be in this game. I can't wait for that part.
Same. Yeah, I think we call it there.